This is your sacred space, a moment set apart from the noise of the world, where truth gently meets your spirit. Take a breath and allow yourself to be fully present. Because something within you has been waiting for this exact moment. You are not here by accident. Your presence, your journey, your very existence carries meaning far beyond what you may have been told or what you may have believed in your lowest moments. There is a reason you have endured everything you have faced, a reason you are still standing, still searching, still hoping for something more. Deep within you, there has always been a quiet knowing. It may have been buried under fear, doubt, or the weight of past experiences, but it has never disappeared. It is that subtle voice that whispers when everything else is silent. The feeling that you were made for something greater than the life you have been settling for. Even when you tried to ignore it, even when you questioned it, it remained. That voice is not you. It is your truth calling you back to yourself. You are a chosen one, not because you have lived a perfect life, but because you have continued despite the imperfections. Your story is not defined by ease, it is defined by resilience. Think about the moments that tried to break you, the times when giving up felt easier than moving forward. Yet here you are. You kept going, even when the path was unclear, even when no one else could see what you were fighting for. That strength within you is not ordinary. It is evidence of something greater at work in your life. Everything you have experienced has been shaping you, preparing you, refining you. The pain you felt was not meaningless. The confusion you faced was not wasted. Even the delays, the disappointments, and the detours have all been part of a larger design that you may not fully understand yet. What felt like obstacles were often redirections. What felt like endings were often beginnings in disguise. You were never being held back, you were being positioned. There comes a moment in every life when awareness begins to rise, when you start to see beyond the surface of things. This is that moment for you. This is the awakening. It is not loud or dramatic. It is quiet and powerful, like a shift within your soul. It is the realization that your life is not random, that your purpose is not small, and that you are not meant to live limited by fear or defined by your past. You are being called to rise into a deeper understanding of who you are. Not who the world told you to be, not who your past tried to shape you into, but who you were always meant to become. This requires honesty with yourself. It requires you to acknowledge that you have outgrown certain versions of your life, certain mindsets, certain limitations. Growth can feel uncomfortable, but discomfort is often the doorway to transformation. As you stand in this moment of awakening, understand that nothing about you is accidental. Your strengths, your struggles, your perspective, your dreams, they all carry purpose. You have been given exactly what you need to step into the life that is meant for you. Even if you do not yet see the full picture, you are being guided step by step. This is where it begins. Not in perfection, not in certainty, but in awareness. In the simple yet powerful realization that you are here for a reason. And that reason is unfolding within you right now. Your divine calling is not something distant or unreachable. It is already alive within you, woven into the very core of who you are. It does not arrive from the outside. It reveals itself from within. It speaks in quiet moments, in your deepest thoughts, in the things that stir your heart without explanation. You may have felt it as a pull toward something greater, a sense that there is more waiting for you beyond what you currently see. That feeling is not you, dear. It is your purpose trying to be heard. Often your calling does not come as a clear, detailed plan. Instead, it shows up as a desire, a passion, or even a restlessness that refuses to leave you alone. It is the idea that returns again and again, even after you try to dismiss it. It is the dream that lingers in your mind when everything else fades away. That persistence is not weakness, it is direction. It is a sign that something within you is ready to be expressed, ready to be lived. But answering your calling is not always easy. In fact, it often begins with resistance. Fear has a way of rising the moment you start to take your purpose seriously. It whispers that you are not ready, not capable, not worthy. It reminds you of your past mistakes and tries to convince you that they define your future. Doubt joins in, creating questions that seem impossible to answer. What if you fail? What if you are not enough? What if you try and it does not work? These thoughts can feel powerful, but they are not truth. They are distractions meant to keep you from stepping into what is already yours. Your calling does not require perfection. It requires courage. It asks you to move forward even when you feel uncertain, to trust even when you cannot see the outcome. Faith is not about having all the answers. It is about believing that the path will reveal itself as you walk it. There will be moments when the world around you does not understand your journey. People may question your choices or encourage you to stay within what feels safe and familiar. They may not see what you see, and that can make you doubt yourself even more. But you were not created to live according to someone else's vision. Your path is unique, and it requires you to trust your own inner voice above all others. Your calling will stretch you. It will ask you to grow beyond your comfort zone, to release old versions of yourself, and to step into new levels of responsibility and awareness. This can feel overwhelming at times, but growth always carries a sense of discomfort. That discomfort is not a sign that you are on the wrong path. It is a sign that you are expanding into who you are meant to become. As you begin to listen more closely to your calling, you will notice that it becomes clearer. The more you honor it, the stronger it becomes. Small steps of obedience create momentum. Each decision to trust yourself, each action you take in alignment with your purpose, brings you closer to the life that is waiting for you. You are being prepared for something greater than you can currently imagine. Even now, things are aligning in ways you may not yet see. Your experiences, your lessons, your growth, they are all working together to equip you for what lies ahead. Nothing is wasted when it is connected to purpose. Trust that what you feel within you is real. Trust that your calling has meaning. And most importantly, trust that you have everything you need to begin. This is the moment where everything begins to shift, where you stop standing on the edge of your potential and finally step into it. There comes a point in every journey when waiting is no longer an option, when hesitation becomes heavier than action, and when you realize that the life you desire will never meet you halfway. It is in this moment that you begin to rise, not because everything is perfect, but because you decide that you are no longer willing to remain where you are. Rising is not a single action, it is a decision repeated daily. It is choosing to move forward even when fear is present, even when doubt tries to pull you back into old patterns. Fear does not disappear when you step into your power, but it loses its control over you. You begin to understand that fear is not a signal to stop, but a sign that you are stepping beyond what is familiar. Growth lives on the other side of that boundary. There is a version of you that has been waiting patiently, a stronger, more confident, more aligned version that already exists within you. Rising is the process of becoming that person. It requires you to let go of the identity you have outgrown, the one shaped by limitations, past failures, and the expectations of others. You cannot carry old beliefs into a new life. You must be willing to release what no longer serves you, even if it once felt like safety. As you begin to rise, you may notice resistance from within. Old habits will try to pull you back. Familiar thoughts will tell you to stay where it is comfortable. But comfort is often the place where potential fades. If you remain where everything feels easy, you also remain where nothing truly changes. Rising asks you to embrace discomfort as part of your transformation, to understand that temporary unease leads to lasting growth. You do not need to have everything figured out to begin. Waiting for clarity often becomes an excuse to delay action. The truth is that clarity comes through movement. Each step you take reveals the next. Each decision builds confidence. Each small victory strengthens your belief in yourself. Progress is not about perfection, it is about persistence. Even the smallest step forward carries more power than standing still. There will be moments when the path feels uncertain, when you question whether you are doing the right thing. In those moments, remember why you started. Remember the feeling that told you there was more for your life. That feeling is your guide. It will not always lead you through easy paths, but it will lead you through meaningful ones. Rising also means recognizing your own power, not in an arrogant way, but in a grounded understanding that you are capable of more than you have allowed yourself to believe. Every skill you have developed, every lesson you have learned, every challenge you have overcome has prepared you for this stage of your journey. You are not starting from nothing, you are building from experience. As you continue to rise, your perspective begins to change. What once intimidated you becomes manageable. What once felt impossible begins to feel within reach. This is not because the world has changed, but because you have. Your mindset shapes your reality, and as your belief in yourself grows, so does your ability to create the life you envision. This is your time to step fully into your strength, to move with intention, and to trust in your own growth. Rising is not about becoming someone new. It is about revealing who you have always been beneath the layers of doubt and fear. And with every step you take, you move closer to a life that reflects your true potential. There comes a moment when you can no longer delay what your soul has already accepted. A moment when you realize that your destiny is not something waiting in the distance, but something asking to be lived right now. It is not reserved for a future version of you who has everything figured out. It belongs to you as you are, in this very stage of your journey. Stepping into your destiny is not about becoming perfect, it is about becoming aligned. Alignment requires honesty. It asks you to look at your life and recognize what no longer fits the person you are becoming. There are habits, environments, and even relationships that may have once felt right, but now hold you back from moving forward. Letting go is not always easy, especially when it involves what is familiar, but holding on to what limits you will always cost more than releasing it. Growth demands space, and sometimes that space can only be created through difficult choices. As you move closer to your destiny, you begin to understand that your past does not define you, it prepares you. Every mistake, every failure, every moment of doubt has contributed to the strength you carry today. Nothing you have experienced is wasted. Even the moments you wish you could change have given you lessons that now guide your decisions. Your story is not something to escape from. It is something to build upon. There will still be uncertainty. Destiny does not remove challenges, it gives them purpose. You may not always know what lies ahead, and that can feel uncomfortable. But uncertainty is not something to fear, it is something to trust. It means that your life is still unfolding, still growing, still offering new possibilities. If everything were known, there would be no need for faith, no room for discovery. Walking your path requires confidence, but not the kind that depends on constant reassurance. It is a quiet confidence, built through experience and self-trust. It is the understanding that even if things do not go as planned, You have the strength to adapt and continue. Confidence is not about controlling every outcome. It is about trusting yourself in every situation. As you step into your destiny, you may find that not everyone understands your journey. Some people will question your choices. Others may doubt your vision. That is part of the process. Your path was never meant to be validated by everyone around you. It was meant to be lived by you. Seeking constant approval will only pull you away from your truth. Instead, learn to stand firm in your own understanding, even when it stands alone. You are not walking this path without guidance. There is a deeper force at work in your life, something that continues to direct you even when you feel unsure. It shows up in moments of clarity, in unexpected opportunities, in the feeling that you are being led even when you cannot explain how. Trusting this guidance allows you to move forward with a sense of peace, knowing that you are not alone in your journey. Destiny is not a final destination, it is a continuous unfolding. It evolves as you grow, revealing new levels of purpose and meaning along the way. What you step into today will lead you to something greater tomorrow. The key is to remain open, to keep moving, and to stay connected to the truth within you. This is your moment to fully embrace who you are becoming, to release what no longer belongs in your life, and to walk forward with intention. You have everything within you to fulfill the path that has been set before you. And as you continue this journey, remember that you are not defined by where you started, but by the courage you show in moving forward. Your destiny is not something you wait for, it is something you choose, step by step, with every decision you make.